Good afternoon everyone, it's Lynda here from Banjo's Bead House with our weekly Facebook Live video, and this week we are continuing on my orange challenge piece that we started last week. Thank you to everyone who commented on bead colors and giving me the option to add green in. It was a lot of fun. I spent Sunday playing around with a couple of the color options and had to reject them because they just didn't work once it was beaded up, and that's part of the fun of doing this, is you can look great you know, all lined up, and then when you actually start executing, it's like, oh, this doesn't work, and we had a lot of this just doesn't work. But I'm going to tip you guys down and show you what I came up with for the bezel, and we're going to finish off the bezel today, and then we will keep working on this project, as I said, over the next couple of weeks, with the exception of taking a break at some point this month to play around with the bridge and navette beads, which is our bead of the month. So I'm going to tip you guys down and we'll do a little refresh. Hi Kelly, thank you for joining us. So this is the bead that started it all. So I threw at you all sorts of yellow and orange and black options last week. Then in the comments, people started asking for green, so we threw in some green options. In the end, I ended up playing around with the lusters. The opaques were a little too much. The paler yellow lusters really got lost in the piece, so ended up sticking with the bright and the bright orange and the darker of the greens, because the pale green just got completely washed out as well. And of course I paired it with black, which I'm working out of my big bag. So I ended up doing a double right angled weave bezel, which this is it. So you've got orange on the outer edge, which will sit up against the bead. You've got the yellow in there, and then a little band of green to give a little bit of a nod to the green that pops up. I'm now at the process of edging. I have already added in one row of my 15s, and then I need to weave back to my other side. So I'm just going to pull that a little snugly, find my needle, and then weave across to the other side, which is the part I didn't get done before I came on to live. Whoops, trying not to get tails tangled up here. So I'm just going to go through that orange and then weave my way back through. If I can get my needle to behave with me. There we go. I am also playing a little bit of thread chicken because I only have a little bit of thread left on this needle, but it should be enough to get me through the piece, I am hoping. So at the moment I am just working my way back to the other side. I will demonstrate how I do the double right angled weave as part of the bezel, so you'll see me actually do the start of that next week. But this week I thought I would just show you how we actually finish off the bezel, and then I'm going to marry it with a double right angled weave bail. Sorry, I'm trying to get the words out, and I haven't worked out the technique for the rope yet, or the colorways, so that's still going on in the back of my head. I had thought of just doing plain black, so it's not too much color, and of course I've now got a size 11 bead that's in nice and tight and doesn't want to play ball, which is why I normally do these things off camera, but at the same time good to see for you guys to see, you know, this is the real struggle of trying to get back through very tight tensioned beads. And I don't have my good pliers with me because they're at home. I have a pair of chain nose Xeron pliers that's perfect for gripping the very tips of needles with. And they live on my bead mat at home. Okay, so I threaded everything in this direction, so this is also my opportunity to change thread direction, which I like doing when I'm working on bezels running in opposite directions. I did choose not to glue this down and build this up as peyote off the base. It was just a personal choice. I liked the lattice effect of the double right angled weave to draw out the lattice that's in the piece, and allows the, you know, natural black of the glass to show instead of a piece of ultra suede or kangaroo leather, which I've been using as well for backing. and that's another tight 11 there. This might have been my starting point, or just my ridiculously tight tension. Oy. Maybe we're not going to be changing directions on thread if I can't get that in there. Yep, we won't be changing directions because I can't get it in the other hole. So we'll thread this way. I'm just trying to keep that thread out of the way. I am pulling, so you can see I am starting to pull on that side already, and I'm just going to get my little pile of 15s to work with. So just going back to the black, zap him away later, and now I'm going to be working in reverse, so this will be fun. Okay, so I'm just as if we're doing a normal peyote bezel now, just picking up my 15s just to go in between each of these 11s on my outer edge, just to help me do the cinch in, as you can see, and form that nice little bezel edge. So bear with me as we just work our way through. It was a lot of fun seeing everybody's comments and feedback, so I'd kind of like to know, is that something you guys would like to see more of and be more involved in some of this design process as we're having fun experimenting? Because I do have a lot of cabs at home, so we could have some fun trying out some different techniques or color challenging me. I am trying to get out of my color comfort zone a little bit more every time I order pieces from some of the makers on Handmade Alchemy, you know, just to give a little bit of variety in what I'm making. But this one has certainly had customers in the shop talking this week and wondering what I had created, how I was going with it, because they never see me anywhere near the color orange. I know it's inspired one of them to actually have a big play around, so it's always fun when you take on a challenge and it helps inspires others to do the same. Okay, I think we're about halfway around. So before I tighten up this side, I will actually get the cab into position. Sorry, working in an opposite direction is challenging my brain right now, but that's okay too. And for everybody who likes to see what I create for the Easter show, I dropped off my 4 submissions this year this morning, so they are in ready for judging. The preview night is on in about 12 days time, so I will get to see the results, and as we've done in the past few years, I will do a video stream out and share photos of all of the jewelry and then other things of interest that we see at the show preview night. I understand there is still tickets available for that. It's just at the RAS website if you're in Sydney and want to come along in person. It is a fun night, being able to see everything from the paintings to the ceramics to the cakes to the knitted creations and the leather work, and then of course all of the jewelry. So there is lots of fun things you can see. And it's a fun night out, and of course if not, you can always log on to their website the next morning and at least read who won, but the preview night allows you to see it and see everybody's ribbons, which is always the fun part. Okay, I will share photos of my pieces after preview night so that you guys, or as I'm heading to preview night, so you guys can see what I have submitted. I have got them all edited. So I had a bit of fun this year trying out 2 new categories, which was a fun personal challenge for me. Okay, just just a couple more beads to go. Oops. Where do you want to go, tail thread? You want to go up, okay. Try and keep him out of the way. I'll zap him off later. Another thing I probably should have done at home. Okay, I'm just going through a couple more of the 15s so that we can do our cinching on both sides, but we're going to loosen up one side and get our bezel in, sorry, our cab in. Might actually do him upside down. I've tightened the front too much. That was bound to happen, so there we go. So you can see he's nice and nestled in. He's got his little colorful bezel. And what I love about doing the double right angle weave bezels is you can literally play with any shape and create an open back bezel. It's now just a matter of cinching all of that in so those 15s all tighten up and do their magic. So I'm just pulling a lot on that thread and that's sliding everything around. So I'm happy with the way this is. I do need to go and do another run of around here, get my thread to the other side and tighten up the back, but I'm confident it will stay in place. I'm not going to bore you guys with sitting here watching me string that over and over and over again. But I will do, as I said, another full pass at the front, and then I will do another full pass at the back just to tighten it up. And then when we come back next week, we're going to have some fun looking at the bail over the top. I just got to work out which top part I want to have as the top and which part I want to have as the bottom. But yeah, this is the progress we are making on our orange challenge piece. So thank you guys again for all of your feedback and help in picking the colors. I hope you are enjoying the process along with me as I work on this fun little piece, and I'll be back next week with the next step of it. We will see you guys then. Bye for now.